Washington Amateur Television Society, net. I'd like to use the repeater for a quick contact before we begin the net. It'll be going on for about 1 hour. If so, come now. Good evening. My name is James. I am Whiskey Uniform 7 November, WW7N, and we will be having a very wind-blown Western Washington Amateur Television Society net for the next hour. On this repeater, the 08 machine, we have a analog fast scan television repeater up on Cougar Mountain. If you'd like to see that while we're talking, you can go to your favorite search engine and type in Western Washington Amateur Television Society, and you can either look at it direct on Google or on our streaming page. Keep in mind, we do not monitor the Google comments as they come by real time, so if that's your thing, you'll have to get an amateur radio license and talk to us on the 08 machine. So anyway, I can see right now, standby one. Video check-in for the net tonight. Looks like we have Ron, KD7QKU, and we have Richard, K7ITX. Who else is out there who'd like to join us tonight? You can either check in or check out, join the conversation, or learn all about ATV. And 7QO. Oh, Jim out in Covington, and that makes 4. Who else would like to check in tonight? Well, let's see, so if we have just the 4 of us, why don't we go for 30 minutes and see where we're at that time. Ron, KD7QKU, go ahead and tell us what the wind is doing down in Tacoma.
Okay, thank you, James. This is Ron, KD7QKU. Well, there's not much wind in Tacoma that I can see. We've got a little bit of rain. Temperature's 43 degrees. But yeah, we seem to miss out on the wind. This seems that our house here seems to be kind of windy in the summer, but we haven't been getting these storms, so that's kind of nice. What did I do today? I had gotten a knee cart, when I had a stress fracture and I was wearing that boot, and I thought I was going to use this knee cart, to run all around on. Mostly go for walks down by the water or someplace. Well, it's just been so darn cold. I'm getting to be a house mouse or a couch potato, whatever you want to call it. I used to be out hunting and fishing, and it seemed like, it wasn't that cold. I even worked outside. But anymore, it's really cold. So anyway, taking that back this morning. I had to put up a deposit, so I got the deposit back on it. I got it from a charitable organization here in Tacoma, where people donate their used hospital equipment, and you can get it from them for reasonable rates. And then I put these LED lights in the garage, and they have paddles on them, that they have 3 or 4 paddles. They had 3 paddles, and each paddle had a bunch of LED lights. I bought them from McClendon's in the hardware, which isn't too far from my house. Can't remember what I paid for them. I think I paid about $29.95 a piece, and they were supposed to be
Television Society. Richard, K7ITX, go ahead. Hi everybody, good evening. Oh gosh, yeah, the wind, it's been breezy here. I think we're expecting, I've been calling it in error, I think, among other things. I was calling it the Enumclaw Gap, but I guess actually Covington Jim straightened me out on the proper terminology being the Cascadia. I'll just say Cascadia, we'll leave it at that. I don't know if there's winds that are part of it, but anyway, and then I heard Covington Jim out there. You were asking about the face behind me the other day, and I did happen to see my neighbor at the grocery store the very next day, and I told him about everyone being quizzical about that, and he said, he says it's concrete, just painted concrete. Someone poured it in a form and painted it, and that's all it is. Now, I don't know if it's solid. I didn't think that. If it's solid, it's pretty... I bet it is. It probably is. Otherwise, concrete would crack and spall very easily, I would think. So, anyway, what else? Just working on getting what we call submittals, samples in for my Fed Hedge project, along with the your typical material nomenclature, which I usually like to keep to a bare minimum. So one of my assistants put together, like an encyclopedia of how it's all the anodizing and the alloy, the aluminum, and blah blah blah, and I'm just looking at all this and I go, wait a minute, this is insane. Sure enough, a Poindexter is going to get his hands on this, and I'll never hear the end of it. He'll dream some kind of exotic thing that no one's ever heard of, and he'll end up wasting 40 hours of my time while I'm trying to research and giving him answers. So the only thing they're getting from me, maintain and clean your metal. That's about it. K7ITX, back to net control. Well, thank you for, that would be heavy. It's a big rock hung on the side of the wall there. That would be pretty big. Let's, next up, Ken, N7QO out in Covington. How breezy is it out there? N7QO, thank you, Jim. Good evening, everyone. It's pretty windy out here. It's been blowing, probably since about lunchtime. And it has really not dropped off any. We did have a little bit of rain coming down, maybe around when it got dark, but it's not raining out there right now. It is, however, still windy, and I have 46 degrees right now, which it was showing a couple degrees cooler than that a couple of hours ago, so temperatures come up just a tiny bit. Jim, you were talking about wind-blown repeater. When I first turn this on, I'm getting a black and white picture out of the repeater. The picture's fading in and out. Right now it's out. Now it's back. Now I do have color. The color seems to be fairly steady now, but definitely getting some fading signals because of the wind, I'm sure. Ron, I see those LED lights that you're talking about. The only place I have use for those is up in the attic, and I was thinking about buying one of those, but my wallet kind of said, no, I ought to hold off. I don't need those badly enough yet. I need to wait for a couple more light bulbs to burn out, and then I'll get them. But that's depressing that they did not last all that long. Thanks for mentioning that. Dick, man, I didn't know I straightened anyone out about anything. I certainly did not do so intentionally, but Cascadia Gap, yeah. And Face Concrete, I'll bet there's a story behind that. I know at my property there are definitely a couple of stories from previous owners. I'm guessing there's some sort of secret with that face. The face must represent someone for some reason, but just curious. We may never know the real answer on that. It's even possible your neighbor doesn't know if it happened from a different homeowner. Back to you, Jim, M7QO. WW7ATS, net control for the Western Washington Amateur Television Society tonight. See, we're about 12 minutes into it here. Let me pause for a moment and ask if anyone would like to check in, either to check in and check out, or you can join the conversation, or any late normals, rivals. Say so now. W7ITL, I'll check in, but I'm going to wait till that's on. I'm setting up my system now. Okay, I will not call you. I'll put you at the bottom of the rotation behind me then. Well, Ron, thank you for mentioning about those house lights. I bought two of those in a 2-pack from Costco and put one in, and I really have enjoyed having it. I've got 4 they're called E26 sockets in the roof of my garage. I screwed one in, and it's instant on and super, super bright. But the other 3 are still, I've got a lifetime supply of those little curly ones that take 30 seconds to come up to power, and then they're not very bright at all. When I go into my garage, I flip the light on, I do something, I flip it off. So the little curly things never have a chance to light anything up. And this thing is just instant on, but it's so bright, I was suspicious that the heat generated in the very high LED intensity panels was going to essentially burn them out. So I don't know if there's any way to adjust them by getting inside them and adding an extra resistor or anything like that. They might last longer if they weren't quite so bright, and I don't need mine to be quite that bright. But it sure is nice. I mean, flip it on and it's brilliant. I paid. I was just looking at my phone because I took a picture to someone else to ask if they wanted me to get some for an application they had with an E26 socket. I thought it was like 30 plus tax maybe is what I paid for 2, but that was on some special sale or something. I think they're about 30. And what a neighbor of mine got instead were these things they call cob lights. They're cylinders with lots of LEDs on the outside, and I like that design better because it seems to me they could dissipate heat better than those panel lights could, and they're very bright. You put 4 of those in one of these 2-car garages, and it's brilliantly bright inside. Jim, I'm getting the same results are you getting off the 1.2 gigahertz. It kind of is coming and going. It's definitely blowing around up there. I'm looking at my own antenna out on my deck. It's a 6-meter, 3-element vertically polarized Yagi, and I did tie it on with a little piece of string to the deck railing, and it seems to be holding up out there, but I don't know for how long. Yeah, the wind is definitely blowing antennas around tonight. Anyway, well, let's wrap it around to the top. No visitors tonight, so Ron, KD7QKU, go ahead and take it away.
KD7QKU. Well, when I was looking for those lights on Amazon, and the ones I had, I looked at the one I had, and it didn't say what the amperage was on it. I bought 60 watt, because those porcelain fixtures, I think that's about all they're supposed to have in them, is about a 60 watt bulb. But some of those lights said they were 150, going on here. I can't think of anything else. Yeah, no, I think we're fortunate that I just looked at my phone and it said in my location the wind was 8 miles an hour. And I don't know that it's even 8 miles an hour outside. I think it comes down through the Narrows, underneath the Narrows Bridge and stuff, blows through there pretty hard and on down or out or whichever way it's going, but it sort of misses me. And I don't know, maybe Wade, he's a little higher on the hill, maybe he gets more wind than I do. But anyway, there's a small group tonight. That's too bad. It seems like we're getting smaller and smaller. I guess we don't have anything exciting to say. I did talk to our illustrious leader the other day, and it sounds like he'll be coming home probably on the 10th. So probably that next, I don't know, lots of times when he gets home he doesn't get on the next day. So it'll probably be Saturday before he's on. So anyway, that's all the news I have over here in Tacoma. I still think I live in Bellevue, I guess. All right, back to that KD7QKU.
Okay, Ron. All right, next up, Richard, K7ITX. Looks like you had a weather toy there. Go ahead. Grab it here. Let's see here. It's a Christmas present from my son. Actually, though, it's a Christmas present from my son to both my wife and myself. So that had to be, Debbie had to make that very clear. So sadly, that means the actual display will not be in the ham shack. If that isn't a bummer. I mean, I do have a nice little thing that my daughter gave me. And by the way, the barometer, I always love it in events like this. The barometer, it really has a stair-step effect. I guess it's registers every hour or something like that. And it's definitely going down quickly. It's for the past, looks like about 12 hours maybe. It's just been a steady lowering. Okay, so what about this? Okay, I remember seeing something about being 7 in 1. I can only count 6. Let's see, there's a little Billy Bob that spins around for the, measure the speed. Then here's the thing right here that will tell you the wind. Now, here's a little cup. See the cup for the rain. Okay. Then I see one thingamajig to tell you if it's night and day. Oh, okay, I got and one thing that tells you if it's level or not. So hang on a minute. Number 7. If that's number 7. So, okay, 7 and 1. Here we go. It tells me the direction of the wind, number 1. Tells me how fast the wind is going, number 2. Tells me if it's night or day, number 3. How valuable is that? Holy moly. Okay, if you didn't have any windows, it'd be beautiful. Okay, humidity. That's always helpful. And the barometer, I was just talking about how cool those things are. And the grain gauge, so Ron, now I get to tell you how much it rained overnight. And last but not least, number 7 is my device sitting level or not. That could be important, I think, especially for the rain gauge. So if you guys think I'm right, then you don't have to say a thing. If you think I got number 7 wrong or any of these items wrong, please tell me. I need to know. K7ITX. Because you said relative humidity, but I don't recall you saying temperature. So it might be 8 in 1 because you've got the device leveler too, so I give their marketing department a B-. That would be an 8-to-1 device for me. And actually, the Chinese would count the 4 holes that you attach it to a post with as, 9, 10, 11, and 12 in one. That's just my thought there on that. Let's go next to Jim, N7QO out in Covington. N7QO, thank you, Jim. Well, how about dew point? Does it indicate that too? Maybe. That looks pretty cool, Dick. Maybe you could come up with like a repeater that you could have in the shack so it would give you the same information. I don't know, does it send it over wires or is it an RF link between the 2 units? I don't know if that's hardwired, by the way. If you need to get power up there, or I can see you talking, but I can't read your lips. Sorry. Maybe one of the things that would show would be battery strength of the unit that's upstairs, but I don't know. It's got to get power somehow. Anyway, that looks pretty cool. Dick, I had something to ask real quick. You mentioned on a previous net about a cougar sighting. Just curious, a cougar in Kent East Hill? Holy cow. I'd like you to mention that if you would, please. And let's see. Ron, glaucoma. Sorry about that. Yeah, I've got a friend who has to go to an ophthalmologist on a regular basis, and he gets an injection in his eyeball, actually in both eyeballs, but the doctor doesn't do both at the same time. So on alternating more or less weeks, he would do different eyes, and sometimes he needs an injection like every other week in a single eye, and sometimes it's more and sometimes it's less, depending upon how they test him out to be. I don't know, good luck. There are a lot of different things out there that can be a real pain in the butt when it comes down to it, so good luck with that. Back to you, Jim, N7QO. N7QO, this is James WW7N. Wait, W7ITL, are you set up yet? Yeah, let's give it a shot. Let's see if I can get switched over first. Hold on just a moment. Turn off my TV because it's giving a lot of RF feedback. So everybody's doing okay, it looks like. I noticed, the few nets, there hasn't been a lot of folks, so hopefully as the year kind of rolls in, people will get back from their vacations and so forth. So anyhow, I didn't get to hear the first round, but it sounds like Ron mentioned he has glaucoma now. I didn't know he had it, or maybe he's always had it. We'll have to hear more on the next round. Weather station for Richard. That's pretty cool. I don't have one of those, but my father has one of those, and his is wireless. So I don't know if you had mentioned if it was wired or wireless. Let's see. Don't have anything real prepared for this round. Just kind of getting back in the groove of being back at work again after a long weekend. And yeah, it's already midweek. Feels like it was just Sunday, so looking forward to having another weekend here shortly. So don't have anything more, so I'm going to return back to you, Jim. Alright, W7ITL, back to net. Yeah, your picture, what I saw was like everyone else's. It kind of came and went a little bit here at my reception point in Bellevue, but I think that's a function of the wind on the hill up there. one thing I was going to say, Ron, man, if you got a medical appointment anywhere, don't change it. You stay with it. I mean, it can just, suddenly you can find out you're out 3 months, where you thought you were right now. It depends on where you're going and what you're doing. I've had a couple of friends of mine report that they tried to make some little change or something, and they were told, yeah, the next one's like, next Christmas or something. Said, no, leave me alone. We'll change everything else to make that fit. Today I was listening to someone who was saying the hospitals in the United Kingdom are still overloaded from flu and RSV and COVID, and same in China. And I think here it's lightened up a little bit. At least we don't have as many kids in our hospitals, which is nice. So the question I have for the group next time around here is, we're going about 30 minutes after the hour with a smaller group. Did you want to wrap it up a little bit early, or did you want to keep wrapping it around for another half an hour? So as you come into rotation, let me know what your feelings are on that. I'm going to open it up right now, too, if any visitors want to check in and check out, just see if that new antenna works, or if the microphone is better or worse than the old one. Go ahead and just check in and say hi, or you can join the conversation. Go ahead and come now. Fox 7 Sierra Delta Lima. Fox 7 Sierra Delta Lima, is that correct? S7SDL. Well, we have a receiver and transmitter in 2 different buildings, so you really have to push the push-to-talk button and count 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi before you talk. What's your first name? I'm sorry about that, too, and I forgot to give my first name is Chuck, and I'm down here in Maple Valley, and I was just wondering 2 things. Your website again, and then is that 125325 is what you're downlinking your video off of? I think your first name was Chuck, KF7SDL. You're kind of coming and going a little bit there in the noise, but I think you were asking for our website, the fastest way to get it is type in Western Washington Amateur Television Society, and to be honest, I know it's 1.2 gigahertz, and that sounds correct, but I have to look at our own website to see if that is correct or not. So I will look that up and come back with that next time around. Comment? Someone had something to say?
Oh yeah, it's Wade here, W7ATS. I was going to say the downlink is 1253.25. And let's see, did you have any other questions about the repeater?
No, but next week, by the time you broadcast it again, I'll have a cable that's connected and see if I can't get that picture that way. By next week you're going to try and get a cable connected. That's fantastic. I don't know if you're using a dongle and software. You can use even a little dongle. It's a little on the narrow side for bandwidth and still get a black and white signal if you want full color. It needs a little more sophisticated SDR. What are you using to receive this? A little radio here for that frequency. I think it'll go that high. I haven't checked it out yet, but I'll try it anyway and give it a try. I have a whole bunch of software here, so I'll try anything once. Well, we look forward to that. Of course, there's more bandwidth. It is an analog video signal, not digital, so I think you need to take in at least 5 megahertz to get the signal, and 7 is better. It is a single sideband signal, so it's not FM, so it is analog. So if that helps you any with your software, did you have any further questions on that? I'll look it up and read all about it this week and see what's going on. Thank you very much. An SDL, we certainly appreciate you checking in. Would you like to join the conversation? information, or is this just a check in and check out?
Just a check in, check out, and I'll listen along. Thank you.
And we'll be happy to help you with any experiments you want to do with this. We meet Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific Time USA and Saturday 8 p.m. Pacific Time USA. So let us know how we can be of assistance to you. So I think that wraps it around back up to the top. Ron, KD7QKU, go ahead.
Okay, this is KD7QKU again. I might mention that, I think it was Chuck, that our repeater's on Cougar Mountain, and it's pretty much line of sight. I don't know where you're located, but if you have a bunch of hills between you and Cougar Mountain, it's pretty difficult. It's got about a 20-mile radius, give or take a few miles. Anything you can do to, as far as an antenna with some gain or anything is really helpful. So anyway, not much going on, and yes, I'm for wrapping it up earlier. That would be fine with me. So back to the group, KD7QKU.
All right, let's go to Richard, K7ITX.
Let's see, net control. Did you get Chuck's full call sign? And if you did, there you go. Okay, I'd like to get Chuck's full call sign and then try to find him on QRZ and send him an email with more detailed information about what we're doing here. Net control, do you have that?
Yes, I just typed in the digital channel, KS7 Sierra Delta Lima, I believe.
Thanks for that. And Chuck, yeah, no, I'm looking forward to hearing from you again, and I'm hoping I can find your email and like I say, send you some good information about it. Okay, so let's see. I had a couple comments. As the 7-in-1 actual device that goes outside is battery operated. I had to put in 3 AA batteries. What else? It's wireless, so that's good. So all I had to do is put one of those little batteries that you put in your key fob. I had to put that in the display for whatever reason. Oh, to keep it so it doesn't lose its memory if it ever gets unplugged and that sort of thing. Now, the display is not wireless, which I can understand why they're not, because they're running, pretty much 24/7. They're very bright. They got a lot of work that's going on. I mean, I'm sure you could have batteries, but you'd be recharging them or whatever. But anyway, or you'd pay a lot more money for or my son would have paid a lot more money for everything. So, okay. The comment I have is, I'm sure probably you guys all heard about this. I don't know why I even want to bring it up, but it's so unusual. It's hard not to. And that, well, 2 things are really unusual. Someone having a heart attack in the middle of a football field, in the middle of a football game, nationally televised, and stops the game cold for obvious reasons. And this is a very important pro game. They stop the game. It's postponed. They may never play it. So I'll be real curious to see how they work that out. I mean, it's pretty smart on their part to, number one, stop the game. The guy, he might not survive, and then when his heart stops on the field, in the middle of the field, where everybody sees what's going on, you better stop the game. And but would they have stopped it 10 years ago? That's a good question. That was pretty sad. So I had to mention that. I'm running out of things to talk about. And of course, since we've had a House elect of representatives that can't get started without electing a leader. And I think they're going to be on their 7th ballot. I lost count. That hasn't happened since 1923. So I think that's pretty cool. I'm loving it. I lived in Olympia for the state senate, and I go to all these crazy sessions and things, and all the folly-wrong pomp and circumstance. I didn't say that right, did I? Anyway, I'd love to see it out of the ordinary. Whether I'm going to like the results, that's a whole other story, but I'm enjoying myself. K7ITX. Oh, Richard, that's the whole point of politics. I saw a great quote on the movie Dave where the presidential advisor is explaining to someone, because he's the presidential advisor, he goes, the purpose of the office of the presidency is to distract everyone from what's really going on. So that's always stuck in my head. Anyway, next up, Jim, N7QO in Covington. N7QO, thank you, Jim. Well, let's see, Jim, you were talking about medical appointments and not canceling them. I can confirm what you said. The last time I made a doctor appointment, the very first appointment available was almost 6 weeks out. And by golly, I was no longer sick by the time the appointment came around. So, kind of frustrating. I don't know what's going on now. So Dick, it sounds like there's at least a possibility that you might be able to purchase a second display unit for the shack. You'd have to see if you could pair 2 display units to the 1 transmitter. And if so, you might be in luck for a nominal fee, of course. And that game, I was not watching that football game, but I saw a video afterwards. Holy cow, I hope that fellow fully recovers. Hope his brain was not without oxygen for too long. That could be bad. Time will tell. He's just going to need some time to recover and see what happens. And Chuck, welcome aboard. I live just a ways south of Covington. And also height is a factor. I have a problem with trees where I am. I think that's the big thing. I used to get a really good signal from the repeater, but over the past 20 years, the trees around here have really grown, and now I don't get such a good signal from the repeater. I think that's part of the problem. So don't be discouraged if you can't get a picture. Just kind of have to be aware of what's going on and look for reasons why. But anyway, welcome aboard. Good luck with that. And back to you, Jim, N7QO.
We might mention polarization too of the antenna.
That's a good thing too. If you're still listening out there, Chuck, it is a vertically polarized signal at 1.2 gigahertz if you're trying to pull that microwave signal in. And multi-element Yagis work, but there's other antenna designs that will work as well. I'm talking 12 and 15 elements on 1.2 gigahertz Yagi. That's what I use. Wade, W7ITL, and then we'll talk about how much longer we want to go.
Well, let me just switch in
taken a while for me to switch in lately. I've noticed that I have to get really close to the window to switch the input. So looks like, yeah, like everybody's saying, that the video is just a little fuzzy today. I'm getting barely a color signal on my end for my output, but when you guys are on the other input, I can definitely see full color. So it looks like the receive is the problem at the repeater site. I did want to make a comment for Chuck. I'm not seeing your name is not matching the call sign that we got in our chat here. Can you repeat your call sign one more time just to make sure we got the right call sign? I don't really have much more. It sounds like, yeah, I will comment about the don't cancel your doctor's appointment. I made an appointment to see my doctor, and then come to find that my doctor had left the clinic, and then the new doctor wasn't available until February, and I had to start over as a new patient now. So that's not fun. Having to start all over again with the doctor, and my doctor that I just got, I hadn't had him very long, so it was kind of odd to find that out. So with that said, I'll turn the net back to Jim and close out, unless there's anybody else that want to have any other comments. W7ATS, back to net.
7SDL. Give us your call one more time. It was a call for that as Kilo Foxtrot 7 Sierra Delta Lima. That is correct, and I also go by my middle name. If you look, my middle name is Chuck. Again, I can see here, yeah, the middle initial is C. And so KF7STL, that did come up for me. I'll make sure that gets put in the digital chat line. So let me open it up here. We're not really that far away from where we normally terminate. We normally go for about an hour from 8 to 9. But let me open it up for visitors, any member that would want to say anything else. And then maybe perhaps think about wrapping it up here. So any visitors want to check in other than Chuck tonight?
Chuck, if you really get interested in ATV, we probably have some equipment we could maybe loan you. So if you had a line of sight, you could see Cougar Mountain, and you can get a good signal, we would love to have you in the group, and we try to help you out if we can. We do have some equipment, I believe, around that people might not be using. We could let you try it. So keep that in mind. KD7QKU.
Well, thank you for that. So you're in Tacoma, and that was KD7QKU was Ron in Tacoma. So anybody else with anything for the Western Washington Amateur Television Net tonight? This is Chuck, and I'm up in Maple Valley, Washington, so I should be right underneath the repeater, pretty good line of sight. My antenna's up about 100 feet in the air. In Maple Valley, unless there's something special, you certainly should be able to get both coming and going signals out of that. Anyone with anything else? Comment, this is W7ATS. I did want to mention that, yeah, like others have mentioned, it's horizontally polarized, so for the transmit to the repeater, and then vertical for reception. And that's it. Hopefully we'll see you around, Chuck, maybe the next meeting. It'd be nice to have another person on the meeting. All right, W7ATS, back to net. Question? I saw your lips move, but I heard you talk too fast, but I think I know what you said. Anyway, the question is, will I find Chuck's email address on QRZ, K7ATS. I don't know, Chuck, they've left us. So anyway, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. We meet 8 p.m. on Wednesdays and 8 p.m. on Sundays. Ron, looks like you had something else you wanted to say.
Say that, Gary's kind of getting out of the business up there by Monroe. And he had a receive antenna that had a loop Yaga that was quite long. It had a lot of gain. I think it's 2 or 3 pieces. You don't have to use all the pieces, but it might be available. So some of Gary's stuff. Back to net and 73, everybody, KD7QKU.
Threes to all, and I'd like to offer special thanks to the owners and operators of the 08 repeater who let us use the 08 machine for the audio channel. That also has Echo Link, so anyone can join us from all over the world, although it's been a while since we've heard anyone from Australia. So one last call for any comments, or anybody wants to check in and check out before we close this net down or return the repeater to normal use. So 73s to all, and good night. My name is James, WW7N. I'll hear you again this Saturday at 8 p.m. Pacific time. Good night.